You get a nice note in the mail. What do you do with it? That's what we're talking about today. Hi, this is Frank Buck, and this is the place to be if you want to get organized and make it look easy. We talk a lot about handling email and how to archive it so that you can search for it later. And for those important emails that serve as good reference information, we talk about forwarding them to Evernote. But what do you do with those nice handwritten notes that come in the mail? Well, I got one in the mail from my friend Jason Womack. Jason recently defended his dissertation, so I sent him a note congratulating him. And yesterday, I received a very nice note from him thanking me for my note and sharing some other quick thoughts. Now, I don't know about you, but well thought out handwritten notes aren't something I regularly get. It's sort of a lost art. So when you get one, you think about hanging on to it. But how and where? Well, I could put it in a scrapbook, but that tends to save things chronologically. What do you do when the note really is significant because of the person? So let me show you exactly how I'm going to handle this. In Evernote, I have a notebook called Journal. It's a place to trap the things that happen in my life. And in that notebook, you'll see a lot of notes simply titled with names. In fact, here's a note for Jason. I won't scroll through the entire note, but what you would find bottom up are the significant conversations that we've had over the years. Each one is dated with a brief description about where we were and what we talked about. Here you even see a note that Jason wrote me in January, and notice the notation there on March the 8th, where I sent him a note congratulating him on the dissertation. So what I want to do is add this note that Jason sent me right to the top. So here is what I do. What you see on the screen is my phone's home screen, and I have an Evernote widget right there. So without even opening Evernote, I can click on the little magnifying glass. And when I do that, I can search for this note for Jason Womack. You can see as I start to type, I get several hits, and I do see a note down there with Jason Womack's name on it right down here. So I'm just going to simply click on that note, and there we go. That's the same note that you saw just moments ago. So what I want to do, I'm going to click right up here at the top of the note where I want the cursor to be. So right up there where you see the cursor, that's where I would like a photograph of this note to go. So I'm going to lay it down on the desk, and I'm going to hit the little icon here representing the camera. And now you see that it opens up my camera, and Evernote is starting to search. Now it's looking at the corners of that note, and it's trying to determine what to take a picture of. I'm actually not touching anything. And it's actually looks like, well, it's taken two pictures down here. And so I'm going to click to save. And so as you can see, it's actually, it took a picture of the note and then took another picture of the note before I actually clicked to save it. So it actually outsmarted me just a little bit. So I'm going to go back in a moment and get rid of one of those. So I'm just going to click the little checkbox up here to save that. And now that's all I'm going to do here on my phone. I'm now back over on Evernote on my computer desktop. And here is the note. Here's the Jason Womack note. Here is the note that he wrote me. Remember, the camera actually took two pictures before I saved things. So let me get rid of one of them. I'll just click on it, hit backspace, and one of them is now gone. Now I can resize that if I want to. Just click on it. Just click and resize that if I want to. Notice how all the background, that desk that was in the background is gone, and all I have is the note. Now, I would like to put a date there. So Evernote does have a keyboard shortcut. If I hold down Shift, Alt, and the letter D, And it gives me a date stamp. Now, I actually got this note yesterday, so I can manually just update that. And the date I actually received it was June the 22nd of 2022. And now that note becomes part of the permanent record. In addition to his note, here's the little notation about where I had sent him something back in March. And then here's a note that he had sent me in January. And if I continue to scroll down the page, there's a record of interactions that go all the way back to the very first note that I got from Jason back in 2014. So there's a good Evernote use case. It's for the people in your life. Create your own journal notebook and start keeping up with the interactions that are making your life better. Just think, you might get a nice note from someone. Now you have a place to save it. And by the way, who would be glad to get a handwritten note from you? What are you waiting for? Thanks for spending this time with me today. And if you liked this video, take a look at these two videos right over here and consider subscribing to the channel for more videos. This has been Frank Buck helping you get organized and make it look easy.